Hey everybody, Nikki Burnett here. My practice Tastes Like Nutrition. I'm a functional nutritionist and I practice strategic evidence-based nutrition. For the video today, I wanted to bring in my great friend, Brittany Hopkins. Say hi, Brittany. We've had her on once before. She's the owner of Container Collective Yoga. She's the one that has truly taught me how to practice yoga. And so she brought to me back, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, she sent an article to me that I thought was really, really interesting. And it's called Yoga Found to Alter Gene Expression for the Better. And so I want to talk just a little bit, I want to give a little bit of a background on what it means when they say gene expression and what epigenetics means, which is essentially gene expression. So what we're looking at is we have our genetics, and so our hair is a certain color and our eyes are a certain color, and for the most part those things can't be changed. But on each gene, what you'll see, well, you probably won't see it, but what's on there is going to be a place, and it's called a polymorphism. There are lots of these polymorphisms. These have the ability to be turned on and off. And so in most cases, well, this can be good and it can be bad. And so they can be turned on and off due to the diet that we eat, exercise or lack thereof, or too much exercise, our environment, our toxic load, stress levels, things like that. So all of these are really important in keeping us healthy, because if we have certain genes expressed, then it essentially interrupts certain metabolic pathways, and conditions can arise that are negative conditions. And so in this article, what they showed was inflammatory markers were decreased due to yoga. And this is because of epigenetics. And it's proof that we have the ability to control so much of our genetic destiny. And I really wanted to have Brittany talk a little bit about what she sees in the studio when it comes to her clients, when it comes to her students, and take it away, because you have so much great stuff to share.
Well, I just thought it was super interesting because I've seen it for years. I've been teaching yoga for coming up on 10 years now, and people come into the studio and I first meet them and you can tell that they are, overworked and tired, and just the health is not in the ideal condition. But over a few months of consistent yoga practice, their whole demeanor changes. And they say yoga is a stress reliever, but it's interesting because we are a Power Vinyasa yoga studio, and we actually cause a little bit of stress during
stress. A little bit of stress is okay
during the class. But after a few months, their whole demeanor is changing, and I was just like, I know what it is. They're showing up on their mat, and it's therapeutic in the sense that they're so focused on what's happening on their mat, and that's the induced stress part. Like, I put you in a pose that is so challenging you can't think about anything else.
And we cuss you a little bit.
Yeah, you can. I've been sworn at in yoga classes. But yeah, we put you into a challenging pose, or we put you upside down, or you lunge this way and you twist that way and you stand on one leg, and we're doing all this stuff to put your body into a really full, healthy spectrum of movements. And over the course, and especially through teacher trainings, when people are really, really being consistent with their yoga practice, their whole demeanor changes. And we have one client that we share in particular that it's been fun because I see him on the yoga mat and you see his nutritional end of things, and you can see that transformation.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to have this article confirm that what we're doing is really, really good for people on a genetic level.
It's science. I mean, it's true science, whereas if we will take care of our body, not just the physical, not just going to the gym for 4 hours a day, because that actually is inflammatory and is going to negatively affect gene expression. But movement and taking care of your body and meditating and yoga, it may be Tai Chi, whatever it is, that it's bringing calm to your mind, because it's that so much of that calm as well as the physical activity that is positively influencing your epigenetics and creating health and bringing stress down. Cortisol is a normal, natural part of the body, but if it's chronically high, it's inflammatory, it's catabolic, it will break you down. And those of us, Brittany and I are both entrepreneurs, and there's a lot that goes with it. Many of you are as well, so much more than I ever expected. And there's a lot that comes to that, and I've had to work really hard on myself to bring myself to the mat, but then to get away from my computer and to focus on me here, because I truly felt myself getting a little bit out of control and just really being intentional about taking care of myself. And I know Brittany went through the same thing early on. I was there and I witnessed it, and it's been an amazing transformation for her. But to bring got text messages coming in, but to bring that calm as much as possible, it changes the body. It truly changes the body, and it's science. You know, it's here. They're studying this stuff, and it's about as cool as it gets.
Yeah. And we've seen. So she does the 23andMe testing. And anybody can do that. Anybody can go to 23andMe and get your genetic test, and they send you some general information that says you're prone to have hazel eyes and you're prone to have brown hair, and I'm not prone to sprinting. But then I took it to Nikki, and then she was able to see deeper into what was causing inflammation in my body.
So it's interesting, because what comes with the more expensive version of 23andMe is what's called raw data. And that raw data, if you were just to download it, you'll look at it and you're like, I don't know what the hell this means. This is all confusing. It's a bunch of numbers and letters and stuff. But I have a software program that I will take that raw data and I'll download it into that, and it will help to break up. I can't even tell you how much information is in there. It's actually a little bit overwhelming, but it will show you your particular, what's called polymorphisms, which is essentially your epigenetics, make it kind of simple, but it will show your polymorphisms, whether you have any, and if you have one polymorphism or two, which can come from one parent or come from both parents, and then it can help us figure out. So to be really simple is, say, vitamin D. You may have, or I may have, a polymorphism that doesn't allow you to utilize or break down vitamin D, so your levels are constantly getting depleted. Even if we supplement, they may go up, but then they go back down. So we're seeing your D levels by testing, but then we can look at your genetics and we can see, oh, now I know why. It could be that we just are going to have to constantly supplement with vitamin D for certain people, because their genetics is what's dictating their vitamin D levels. And so there are piles and piles and piles of this stuff. But it's really interesting when you see labs or you see somebody's symptoms and then you look at their genetics and you can know, oh, now I get it, and we can figure out what to do from here.
It was really helpful for me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. And interesting to know that, so before moving to Colorado, I lived in China. And before going to China, I was relatively healthy, but then lived in Beijing, and some people are not so sensitive to the air and the pollution, and then other people are, and I happen to be one of those. And I think that's what that can trigger polymorphisms, or trigger the epigenetic switches, essentially. Yeah. And so then coming back to the US and opening a yoga studio was a little kind of the same amount of stress, but just different. So it's still just how to calm myself back down so that we could, and do whatever Nikki tells me, eating wise and supplement wise, so that I can be healthy and successful.
We're each other's teacher.
Just do whatever Nikki tells you.
All right. So if you have questions, is there anything you want to add? No?
No.
Good?
Just get on your mat.
There you go. Get on your mat. Eat well. But if you have questions, send them to me. Put them on the Facebook page. Post them below. You can go to my website, tastelifenutrition.com. You can go to containercollectiveyoga.com. She has videos. She's got webcasts. What do you have? You've got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we have podcasts that you can do. We have a 40 days program that you can do yoga and meditation, and there's a nutrition journal that's a part of that you can do. And also big fan of essential oils for helping.
Yeah, I've loaded up on those the last couple of days.
Yeah. Okay.
So those are great. She's becoming the wizard of essential oils, as well as Jamie. You saw Jamie back a couple of weeks ago, so she's great as well. So anyway, all right, let us know if you have any questions. I hope this is helpful, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.